Hello everyone, hope we're all good. Thanks for all the support, thanks for all the comments, thanks for everyone who sends me a DM asking me questions. I hope I've got back to everyone okay. If you haven't, I apologise. I want to talk about Thailand and when I was there and I got a job on the set of Rambo 4. I really enjoyed it. It was an incredible experience. I worked as a teacher prior to getting the job, so we had sort of a stable life at the time. I had an apartment, I was clean, and then I had this opportunity. I was in the Royal Orchid Hotel. I seen this guy in the gym. He looked familiar, got talking to him. Found out he was an actor from England called Matt Marsden, who'd been in Coronation Street. And he was in a role in Rambo 4. A couple of days later, a casting crew come in, asking all the non-Thais questions and did they want to be an extra in the movie, and I flew at the chance. I loved Stallone. I grew up watching Rocky. Rocky was my favourite movie. I used to run down the street with my brothers and sisters running after me. Come on! They're all gassing. I'm on the egg whites spewing up. Great times. So it was incredible to get the opportunity to meet him, and when we were on set, I was in his dressing room. I volunteered for a few scenes where he was ripping, windpipes out, and I was one of the guys he had me round the neck, and he was like, yeah, and he stunk of bifters, by the way. And I said to Kevin, and Kevin King was his manager. Okay, I said to Kevin, there's no way, on this planet that any man can rip another man's windpipe out with his bare hands. He went, Billy, Rambo can. And I couldn't argue with it. It was true. Rambo could, I spent a bit of time in his dressing room. He come to watch me fight. It was just like, this was incredible. This was what dreams were made of. I was like a couple of years before, I'm in and out of prison. I can't get out of addiction. I'm in rehabs. And next thing, I'm thrust into this Hollywood limelight, and I'm living on this Hollywood movie set, surrounded by directors and actors, and it was just amazing, and I was really excited to be a part of it. Now, I was just stunned standing. I get a call after the casting crew had been in to see me about a week later. Hey, Billy, how you doing? Would you like to be Sylvester Stallone stunt standing? I was like, oh, get it. Who's this? Thought it was a wind-up, I really did. Hey, no, man, we're casting, and we decided that, you could be a stunt standing. How do you feel about that? I was thinking, I don't even look like him. Why would they even choose me? I'm definitely not, a sly lookalike. So I didn't think much of it. It sounds exciting, but it's quite boring. And I was on set with these bow and arrows standing there while I've got the cameras and the lights setting up, and they're taking ages. And what happens is, after I've done all that for them, I get out and Stallone gets in, and that's how it is, so it was quite boring. But I loved the opportunity, and I made some great friends. I really did. I was working as a teacher through the week. I was boxing overnight. I had an apartment. I was drifting in and out of relationships that were quite toxic with girls that didn't speak English, because I couldn't spend 5 minutes on my own. I was that codependent and needy, and I always needed someone around me. So, I needed people around me at the time. So when when the movie ended and everyone left and we all parted company and we said our goodbyes, I was stuck in Thailand on my own with no interaction with any other foreigners. I was getting in the ring to escape the feelings that were overwhelming me. You can put, like I said, you can put a plaster, on a cut, but you couldn't mend a broken heart. I couldn't deal with the emotions. I wasn't emotionally gifted, so I couldn't communicate and relate properly to women, And I know that we've got two lives, and the second one begins when we realise that we've only got one. And my first kind of life was just a mess. It was one of desperation, loneliness, prisons, horror stories, war stories, you name it. It had everything in there, and I wanted this new way of living. Yeah, I wanted to, to be a productive member of society, a positive member of the community. you know, and I had to learn how to live. And I wasn't going to learn how to live in Thailand. I definitely wasn't. I was in a fantasy world. You know, all my family saying, you know, you need to come home, Bill. You know, get out of Dodge. You know, get back to reality. And I was arguing with them. I said, this is my reality. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna learn a new language and adopt a new culture. I'm gonna have a family. I'm gonna set up home here. I had no ties in the UK. I had no kids. So, you know, I was on my own. I was young. I was fit. I was boxing overnight. I really enjoyed the Muay Thai sport. I wasn't like incredibly gifted in that area. They were brought up from babies to smash your legs in, you know. But I knew how to box, I knew how to deal with, you know, with my hands, and I knew how to take a punch. You know, I could take a punch all day long. You know, I wasn't really bothered about punches getting thrown at me and blows getting, you know, kicks to my leg. It was all that internal stuff, you know. I used to always put a plaster on a disaster. You know, if a relationship ended, I'd put a plaster on it with another relationship, so I was in and out, so I'd never heal from that one, you know, and I'd always bring the feelings from the previous relationship into the new one, and it'd be even toxic again. So I struggled with all that stuff, really did, and I used to like move about because I felt that, you know, geographically, the problem was me environment. So if I moved from Chiang Mai to Bangkok, from Bangkok down to Pattaya, from Pattaya down to Koh Samui, I travel all over Thailand. It was as easy to just, you know, rent a room and, you know, set up home there and you know, just be a tourist. That was all I was doing. You know, I ended up in Pattaya. I didn't really fancy Pattaya. Like walking street, it was a mile long and it was just full. You know, birds. When I first got to Thailand, I'm a world-class card-carrying pleasure seeker. You know, I went to Pattaya initially with my mate whose motive was to sleep with the whole of Thailand, and I had, you know, different motives. I wanted to go and visit temples and enjoy the scenery. You know, we were going down Pattaya, walking streets, and you've just got thousands of birds going, "Hello there, sexy man, how are you today? I love you, I like you." I felt like a stud. I really did. I thought, I don't get this on our council estate. No, I didn't realise half of them were fellas with breasts and called Bob and Mick and Dave. You know, I was just totally like, I was quite naive. It was funny. It wasn't my cup of tea. Just that cheesy. I had no money anyway. You know, I was sharing bottles of water with me mate. That's how it was for us. And I just wanted to enjoy the 3-month backpacking trip that we had. That actually, you know, once we got there and I've experienced the culture, I wanted to stay, and that's what it was. It's quite addictive, Thailand. If you haven't been, you know, and you go, you'll find out that it's quite addictive. The food's incredible, you know. The land of smiles, but behind that smile, there's an insidious, like, there's the difference, but I put it that way, right? You know, it's insidious, it's dark, there's a dark kind of smile in Thailand also, and just, you need to be aware of that. But yeah, that's how it was for me. You know, it was a love and hate. You know, getting introduced to drugs over there and being in addiction was another, you know, took my life to another level, took it to another place. You know, I was using like I was using in the UK, and I was doing things that I didn't want to do and going to places I didn't want to go, and, you know, I was carrying guns, and, you know, I was paranoid. I had a room full of weapons and no enemies, and, you know, I was that skinny, like I could hang glide off a Dorito. I've said this before. I was like an anorexic panda. I was paranoid. I was hearing things through the walls, and, you know, this drug, yaba, methamphetamine, was doing things to me that I never believed could ever be done to a person. It was horrible. It was horrifying. And there's no wonder he ended up in prison. I had no money when I got arrested. You know, a part of me was grateful because I'd had enough. And then a part of me was absolutely terrified when they put me in prison, and I had to experience, you know, the horrors of watching people murder each other, rape each other, people committing suicide, you know, sleeping on the floor with, you know, 80 people wrapped around you and frightened for your life on a daily basis. I used to I have to walk around with me blanket, you know. I had a fight with these ties on the stairs one day over medication. And there was this Cameroonian guy who came in to the prison, and we used to always introduce ourselves to the tourists. And I said, "What's your name there, mate?" He went, "My name is Dildo." I went, "All right, Dildo, all right, lad. You know what a dildo is, don't you, in England?" He went, no, what the dildo? I said, "Well, it's a vibrator." He said, no, my name is Dildo, not vibrator, Dildo. I must have got a big black guy he was, right, and I'm upstairs getting fucking battered by these guys. I swear I'm getting launched all over the medic's office, trying to graft these tablets. I'm off my cake, I'm fighting with everyone, you know, and they're all on me. And, you know, this black guy comes running up the stairs, bawling. He was massive, just throwing him out the way. You know what I mean? And grabbed me and then took me to safety. He rescued me, you know, and I sat down. I'm really grateful I got saved by a big black dildo. It was mad. And that's a true story, you know. But yeah, from Stallone to prison. Thanks for listening. Take care.